If you or anyone around you are affected by the subjects of today's podcast, you can reach out to get help, advice, or support from our charity partners, Women's Aid, at womensaid.org.uk, or the Yorkshire-based organisation IDAS at idas.org.uk. You can also find these links and reach out to us directly via our website, takebackthebeat.co.uk, or email us at takebackthebeattour@gmail.com. That's takebackthebeattour@gmail.com.
Take back the beat. Voice notes.
Hello!
Hi!
Welcome to
Take back the beat. Voice notes. That was very slow. Are we okay?
No. In all honesty, hay fever can go fuck off.
Oh, do you know what as well? Hay fever's the worst. And then on top of that, I've had 2 outdoor festivals this week.
Babe, literally, like last weekend, I did we did the gig Thursday. I did Friday, Saturday outdoors. No, this was the week before Brighton, sorry. I did Thursday, Friday, Saturday outdoors, died, lost my voice completely, was like, oh my God, can't sing, dying, eyes streaming.
Yeah.
And then Sunday, I was like down in all the like honey and ginger, thinking something was wrong with me. I did the most incredible festival, got there, and they were like, oh, it's inside. I was like, oh my God, my voice is suddenly back. And I was like, oh, It's just pollen destroying my life. Like, survived COVID, dead of pollen.
Yeah. Like, did the government turn up like the pollen volume this year? Because this is not normal. They were like, let's fuck them up a little bit more and throw some more pollen into the air. Because this is not normal. I'm sorry, but it's not.
No, it's not. I was going to make a Stranger Things reference then, and you don't watch Stranger Things.
I'm going to embarrass you right now because clearly we're not friends because I fucking love Stranger Things.
Dude, why have we never spoken about it then?
I think because, was it like big in lockdown?
Maybe.
I don't know. No, I've already
we had a lot more drama.
I was going to say, I was going through a massive crisis. So I weren't talking about Stranger Things, but now I fucking love Stranger Things.
Like, it's like the Demogorgon has just come through and is like, pollen, pollen, pollen. So, yeah. We've kind of told you all how we're doing, but let's go again. Farah, how are you on a scale of 0 to a whole jar of Biscoff?
Well, I ate Biscoff this week, but it wasn't because I was sad. So does that count? I mean,
yeah, I think that's fine.
Yeah. So, I'm good. We finished tour. Yeah, which was incredible. I'm so proud of us. Which I don't usually say, but I'm very, very fucking proud of us and Simon and everyone involved and Women's Aid. It was amazing, and it was the first of many. I know we keep talking about it, but I don't care. It was the first of many, and I adored it. And yeah, it's all just kind of sinking in now. So obviously, we did the show Thursday. That was Brighton at the Folklore Room. So shout out to all the incredible artists we had there.
Oh God, amazing artists!
Yeah. And then I literally went straight back into gigging because that's what we do. So I literally drove back home at 4 a.m, up and out, gigged Friday, Saturday, Sunday, Monday. And obviously today we're filming. But so today's technically my first day off, and it kind of all just sunk in because I was like, oh, yeah. Like, it was because I wasn't like going a million miles an hour. And I just woke up and I was like, oh, I'm really proud of us. Like,
yeah.
I'm so excited for the future, basically.
We were saying, like, before we jumped on Zoom, we were just like, it's weird because we're not like chasing people and like emailing, being like, hey, come to our event. Like, it does feel a little bit like, oh, am I meant to be doing something right now?
Yeah, I'm like, should I be checking numbers or like Googling
freaking out
things? But no. So I'm very happy this week. But like I said, I have had Biscoff, but it was just for pleasure. Reasons. It was for pleasure, not pain, darling. On a scale of 1 to a whole jar of Biscoff, how are you? I don't know what that voice is. I'm so sorry.
I've not been great this week.
Okay.
Again, kind of like the same as you, but the opposite. So yeah, I've not stopped since like
Brighton.
Kind of, yeah. Well, since we got back off holiday, really, like we've just been go, and
well, yeah.
it's been really mental. And then like even like we said, O'Meara, like we did the London gig, and then literally like we got up the next morning so early. You drove back up north for a gig. I went to Oxford for a gig, and then the next day you had a gig, I had a gig, and we were just like, fuck. And then we did a podcast, and we were kind of like on edge. Really, like for those who've listened to the podcast we did a few weeks back, we were a bit on edge, like because we hadn't stopped, and then we hadn't even really spoke to each other, and then it was like go, and then like life's got in the way, and then sorry, hay fever, and then obviously both of us got quite ill, and
we did.
I just had a bit of a lapse of everything really, and like just to bring a downer onto the podcast, it's been hard.
Hey, it's not a downer. Don't you do that.
I know it's been rough. Like I said to you earlier on the phone when we briefly spoke, like I just said that like I've had really bad anxiety and my like depression tendencies that I haven't had in so fucking long, that I didn't know. And like, you know, sometimes when you have anxiety you can go, why am I feeling anxious? Okay, cool. But is it this? No, is it that? And like you'll kind of land on the thing it is, and like a green light will go off. And you'll be like, oh, that's what I'm anxious about. Okay, that's how my like therapy works anyway with me, is very much like finding the problem and kind of sorting it out.
Yeah.
But I've literally been like laying in bed and just been like, I am anxious, I am a wreck, and I don't know why, and I am depressed, and I am crying, and I am worthless, and all these feelings that I haven't had in a really long time. And it's kind of come to the surface this like week. And like, but to the point of like, I've taken it out on Aiden, I've taken it out on my family, I've taken it out on like myself, and just been like, to the point of like, if me and Aiden have like, if I'm a bit snappy, I then can't let it go.
Yeah.
Because my anxiety is going like 20 times over. And like,
it's a completely different experience. It's like you're stood outside watching your anxiety take over.
Yeah. And you're going, stop. Like, what are you doing? Like, and you can't stop this rolling spiral down.
That's what it is. When you can't pinpoint where it's from, you can't get rid of it, and it just gets worse.
Yeah. And it's just like, and like trying to kind of rationalize everything in my head and be like, I'm just so overwhelmed, and at the same time feel irrelevant and pointless. And where do you stand? And then there's been on social media, there's been a few young deaths recently. And it's kind of really affected me in the sense of selfishly, my health anxiety of being like, I'm so stressed, and I'm only like my early 30s, and I shouldn't be this stressed, and I shouldn't be this poor and this tired and like this much of a bitch. So that's all me in a nutshell this week.
Well, the only thing out of that you're not is a bitch. So we're definitely poor and tired.
Yeah.
We're definitely in our early 30s, but you are not a bitch.
Like we weren't going to full details of it, but like me and Farah were chatting the other day, and something got said. Farah mentioned something that I took the wrong way. It wasn't about me and Farah, and I just flew off the handle and was like, "Oh my god, fucking everyone hates me! Like, what the fuck?" And I just went into such a like, and you literally were like, "Babe, like, no,
Yeah.
like,
well, that's
not
why,
what I meant."
Yeah, because I know you and I knew what was happening. Yeah, that's why I voice noted you then, because I think also the tone of people's voices, or if you put something in a message, it can be read.
Yeah.
If you're in a different mood, it can be read completely different to how I sent it. So that's why I was like, okay, blah blah blah, love you. This got da 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 da, and I hope that helped anyway.
Oh, absolutely. And like you just feel stupid. Like afterwards, I literally sat there and I was like,
yeah, but you didn't need to at all, because
it's
I love
that,
you.
like,
so
yeah, it's. Do you know what it is? And this is going to sound really weird. So a podcast I listen to, which is a very funny one called Shag Married Annoyed. It's with my favourite comedian, Chris Ramsey, and his wife, whom I'm obsessed with, and I talk about all the time. They, if you haven't listened to it, it's a very funny podcast, and they talk about, oh my God, what is it called? I can't remember. Like the moment after a man ejaculates, the pure clarity in his brain.
Oh, it is. It's clarity. Yeah, I've been seeing this. I've heard that somewhere. Yeah, and nothing means anything. Like,
yeah, but it's having that moment of going. And like they reckon, like people say that like after a man, you could get anything, the truth completely out of them, because at that moment it's pure clarity.
Yeah.
And I listened to it and I was like, this is gonna sound really weird, but when I have a panic attack, all these thoughts that go through my brain, and then the second it's over, I have that clarity of being like, of course that's not true, of course, and you have that moment of release that you go, oh my God, Nat, come on, rah, rah, rah. And then the cycle starts all over again. And it is just kind of remembering that and like kind of looking after myself. Like I've come home for a few days. I've brought myself out of London. I had a great session yesterday, but I needed to just get home and kind of step away from my brain.
Yeah.
And was like, do you know what? I'm going to just chill. I'm going to write some music and I'm going to just stop beating myself up.
Yeah.
Yeah. Like we are so hard on ourselves. Not just me and you. I'm talking the fucking world. Like I talk to people, like my friends all the time who are like, I'm not doing enough or I'm not doing this, doing that. And it's like this, because we're so accessible and because you can literally witness the world and everyone's success online.
Yeah.
We are just
But I'm
messes.
not, you know, I'm not going to say why we've come to learn this, but I think what me and you need to start doing, because I still have these days where I'm like, what the fuck am I doing? I shouldn't be doing this. I don't deserve this.
Yeah.
The industry, what I've learned in the last 2 months is a lot of smoke and mirrors.
It's a lot of lies.
There's a lot of smoke and mirrors that happen on social media. And then when you're there, you're like, oh, okay. So that, I don't know if that's will help you, but that's kind of what I've been thinking this past few months. If I have gone, what am I doing? Why am I here? I shouldn't be doing this. And then I go, Nick, just, you know, just remember this.
Just chill. Yeah.
And do you know what it is? It is looking at that bigger picture. Yeah. And I think it's really easy. And that's another thing I say to myself constantly. Look at the bigger picture. Look at the bigger picture of life itself. Not just everything that we do, not just music. Obviously, that is life. But I also try and step away and go, I'm here in this life once.
So in this moment.
The bigger picture is right now, me stop thinking about everyone else and think about me and what I'm doing in this world and why I'm here. And as long as I'm a good person and I'm doing good things and I'm doing things that make me happy, music, and spreading the word to the world, then we're good, babe. We're good. And you are a talented bitch and I love you. So fuck off, demons, if you're listening right now. Leave Nat alone. You know where I live.
Yeah, I get you. I had like a little moment yesterday because I took, because obviously it was Father's Day, but it was also my mum's birthday, like the day before.
Debs, yep.
Debs. So we kind of did a joint present, and like me and my sister took them to go see Dear Evan Hansen in town, and we went last night, and I literally was just like, 9 months ago, I didn't think my dad would be here.
Yeah.
And look at this is what's important, and you kind of have those words to yourself, and you go, okay, come on, like, do you really want to look back and go, fuck me, like my 30s, I didn't enjoy it because I was so stressed about we're not saving lives here. So as in music, not saving lives. So yeah, I feel better today, but this week's been an adventure.
Yeah,
down the rabbit hole.
But you're stronger for it, and you're coming out the other side now.
Yeah, so I've probably had about, like, mentally about 6 jars of biscuit every day, but because of my anxiety, I've not eaten much. So
Natalie
I would have
Gray.
had that. I know. It's just, yeah.
But
I feel better today.
I know. Yeah.
I'm on it today. But I'm really excited because we've got an amazing guest, who basically, Joanne, who from a previous episode, Joanne from Outlander, who we love, kind of introduced us to this guy who is also in Outlander. He's an incredible actor, but he's also runs his own gym, fitness classes, and self-defense for survivors.
I'm very excited about this one.
Me too. Shall we get the lovely Paul Donnelly on?
Let's get him in.
Let's do it. Okay. So we have the amazing Paul. Hi, darling. How are you doing?
I'm good. How are you both?
Good.
Quite good.
Very good.
Nice sunny day.
It's a lovely sunny day. Yeah. Are you
It's
up
not
in?
as sunny up here.
I was going to say, are you in Scotland still?
I am still in Glasgow. So.
Oh gosh. Well, you'll know Paul, guys, if you guys watch Outlander. I'm correct in saying that it's Ronnie, isn't it? The character you play.
Yeah, I play Ronnie. Ronnie Sinclair. Yeah.
How is that going? How is Outlander? Are you enjoying it?
It's incredible. It's been a great job for me. I've loved it. You know, I have just
Amazing.
loved it. Yeah, loved it. The people, like, it's just like working with your best friends and family. It's just amazing. I've really loved it,
Oh,
and it's got such a huge fandom as well. The fans are
Yeah.
amazing, and yeah,
yeah.
it's great. It's a
It's
really
very
good job.
filthy. I watched like one episode and was like, oh, can't watch
Mm,
this with my mum.
yeah, I don't have any of those scenes. I don't have any of those scenes.
She's like,
I
oh
don't know.
gosh.
Like the closest I get to any relationship is with the horse. So that's it. Me and my horse are like
So
that.
that's fine. That's
it. It's fine.
and
So we
there's
don't
none
need
of
to
that
worry.
scene.
Okay, great.
Well, thank you so much for coming on. I kind of Joanne, who came on a few weeks ago, told me about you and told me about your incredible fitness classes and in your corner,
Yeah.
which is what I kind of was really intrigued by. So if you're up for it, if you fancy just telling us a bit about you, about why you're so passionate about kind of this environment of ending
Yeah.
abuse would be amazing.
Yeah, I think I taught self-defense for women with a friend of mine years ago when I used to box. And I was a bodyguard for years. I paid my way through drama school working as a bodyguard and
Oh wow.
as a bouncer. And I used to see things on the door. I used to see, guys trying to, take girls that were too drunk or spike them and stuff, and girls that just were, and I'm like, you're not going home with him, like. So I saw that for years, like, you've got to kind of, and I'm a dad, I've got an 18-year-old daughter as well, so.
Oh wow.
And she's going into nightclubs now, so you're like,
the worry starts.
But like I've seen it all, being a doorman for that long. Once a time I was at drama school, so you see it, and now you're like, okay, so I'll take you in and I will pick you up, and then that's safe.
Bless you.
So
you can help her out though and tell her what to watch out for, like her and her friends. So
you have to kind of educate them as much as you shouldn't have to, but you do. You have to protect them.
Yeah.
So the chat. So I every day on Outlander kind of had different charities, and I had, I didn't have one, so I was thinking, what can I do? And I was opening up a gym. I saw this gym, so I had this idea for like a boxing-based fitness gym, but a bit different, not old school boxing, a bit more boutique-y, a bit more, female friendly. Because boxing gyms are notorious for, spitting sawdust and not really, they don't really bring environment for women. Toilets are usually the toilets that are train spotting, so you don't really want to go in there. So
amazing.
I've made fancy toilets and frosted crystals on the floor and stuff, so I made it fancy.
I'm so proud of you.
Thanks. So that's kind of, and then I was kind of doing anti-bullying for kids, and I spoke to Glasgow Women's Aid, and I said, look, this is my idea, like to offer free self-defense classes or just boxing classes for women, survivors of domestic violence. Is it something you would recommend? And, will I take anything away from the work that you do? Or is it, I went to them for advice and said, this is my idea. Is it a good idea? Am I going to help people? And they're like, come see me. So I was like, okay. I spoke to them and I went out to speak to them, and I went in and I said, this is my plan, and like, what's it going to cost us? And I was like, nothing. Like, I just want the people. I don't need the money, and I'm not wanting the money for it. So, oh, you sound different. So that's where it came from, and they were like, we like your idea. So that's where it came from. So
that's amazing. So
I love that.
How does it work? Like, so say like I want to come and join your classes. Like, do I go through Women's Aid? Do they recommend?
You can do, or you can just pop. You can just pop along to some of them, and just pop up and have a look at some of them. So yeah,
that's amazing. Do you find it quite interesting? Like, do women open up to you and talk to you about stuff, or is it very much like a come and just get your mind off of it?
I don't know. I'm not. I'm not a counsellor, so I'm not. I don't try to be a counsellor. I just let people do their thing and just do plod away with their stuff. So
that's amazing.
You've created an incredible thing, because a lot of those, like you've just said, you're not a counsellor, but a lot of those women will know that they're there together because they've been through the same thing. So you've created, a different space for them to be friends and talk about their experiences with each other as well, which that in itself. So you've got the self-defense, but then you've also got, a community of women who have been through the same thing, who can share each other's stories. So that in itself is incredible.
Yeah, I think we're more a safe space. Like, we've got buzzer entries and stuff, and so you can't just walk in the gym. So it's a bit more secure. And then I've got, I work with the young kids as well. So I work with kids that have, been bullied or had mental health issues and stuff. So I work with them as well. So the jumping between the two is pretty good. And
that
just
must be
giving
really
somebody a safe space to train is to feel comfortable. Even just working out can help them never mind doing boxing. Feeling better about yourself could improve your self-confidence and stuff.
Absolutely. So what do you do with Women's Aid in Glasgow? Like, how does it kind of work with you?
Yeah, it's nice. It's a nice feeling. It's a lovely feeling. It's, I've got a young girl who comes in and she's 15, autistic and stuff, and she's amazing.
Oh, wow.
She's great.
Oh, that's brilliant.
Somebody's buzzing my door. Somebody's buzzing my door, actually.
Oh, bless you.
Oh, someone's buzzing your door now. Yeah, that's fine.
That's all good. That's a good spot because my internet was starting to play up.
Yeah, it was. Yeah.
I was like, this is fun.
I can't get the door. I'm on a meeting, so I've got somebody beside me. No, it's no worries. I think she's coming up. The massage lady's got a client lady in it. She'll answer the door. I'm like, I can't answer the door. Sorry.
Bless you. It's all good.
Back. So yeah, that's kind of my idea, was to offer a safe space. They can train for free, build up their self-confidence, learn some new boxing skills. I don't pretend I'm a counsellor. I'm not. I know some women have came to me with talked about stuff about abuse and stuff, and I can only be a signpost and point them in the direction of
absolutely
professional Women's Aid, or I work with wise women as well. So that's kind of where we're at. So
that's so. How does someone go about? So say like a survivor in Glasgow was like, oh, I want to do this. Like, do they go through Women's Aid? Do they have to prove? How does it happen?
People ask me that. People ask me like, how do you check if they're genuine?
Yeah.
And I'm like, I don't really. That's like, I don't, like, if somebody says, who am I to judge them or to tell them, well, you haven't been. Like, you can come through Women's Aid, you can just chat the door and say, can I take a boxing class? And I'm like, yeah, okay. It's on them. It's on them. If they want to rob the charity, then that's on them. I'm not going to be like, do you know what I mean? I'm not like, prove to me that you've been abused. Like, it's not
I mean,
it's not up to me.
It's very lovely of you to be doing this. Like, there's kind of nothing in it for you. Like, you're not making money from this. Like, this is
no. The charities. It's setting up a charity is tough, and it's been a real struggle. And the charity owes money to the charity, like the rent space off the gym, it rents offices off the gym. It pays for PTs, like clients and stuff. But it's not making, like, the charity has not made any money. Like, we're a new charity, and sometimes you have to fundraise for charities. They won't give you funding until you're a year old and stuff. So it's been tough, but like, I just, Saturday morning, I kind of keep myself, and I do a lot of work with the kids. Some have been really badly bullied. Some of them, one of the boys his mum was she worked for Women's Aid, so she knew about me. She said, can I bring my son along? So there's things like that. And I'm at the airport.
So have you got a nice big group then? Have you got your regulars that come? Is it constantly growing now?
Yeah, it's more the kids. The kids are really getting a lot from it. Like, there is women who come in, and I've got another woman coming in from who has been to Women's Aid, and she's come through someone else, and they just let them train for free and pick up a class. So it's picking up. I have a regular Saturday morning. It's pretty full with kids.
Yeah.
And the odd lady that comes in and wants to put a pair of gloves on is great.
It's so amazing. Like, both me and Farah do like a lot of exercise outside and have like dabbled in like boxing, kickboxing, and self-defense. Because I think as survivors, we are very much like, I hate the whole thing of like, when you're at school and women always got taught like, don't have your hair up and don't be on the phone and stuff like this. Like, I hate that vibe. But at the same time,
I want to protect myself. So
Yeah.
I have been attacked in London from violent attacks and like random attacks. And a lot of my brain says, if I had known how to get out of that situation, maybe I wouldn't have felt so helpless. Maybe I would not have struggled so much mentally. So it's amazing that you're doing this and doing it for charity. Like, it's just really lovely. There's no downside here, which is great.
It's like I'm a father. I mean, I'm a dad to about an 18-year-old girl, and I teach her how to box, and I teach her it, and like I have talks with her about it, going in a nightclub. Like, so I said to you, go in a nightclub, and there's maybe 4 or 5 different types of guys. One guy will like you and buy you a drink because he just likes you and offers to buy you a drink, and that's fine. One guy will buy you a drink and expect something from you.
Yeah.
One guy will buy you a drink and demand something from you, think he's owed something from you, and one guy will maybe buy you a drink and put something in it and take it from there. I says it's your job to find out which one he is.
Wow.
Yeah.
Wow, that's a lot to think about. I've never really thought. I mean, I agreed with everything you just said, but that's, I suppose as well.
She's got to decide who buys her a drink and why he's buying her a drink and what's he doing it for. Like that. I said I can't do that. You've got to make that judgment. I said so you have to be careful who you're letting buy your drink. Somebody will put something in it. Somebody might not. Somebody will expect something like you. Okay, I bought your drink. Now you owe me something. Yeah. Somebody will try and get you drunk, or somebody will, or somebody just genuinely thinks you're nice and wants to buy you a drink. Yeah. You've got to decide which one it is.
Because that's the problem. Like, if you've got your guard up, you tend to then, like, the nice ones and the good guys, you tend to then be like, like, go away. No, you must want something. And it's finding that balance and knowing that you can't be paranoid and you can't have your guard up at all times, because some people are genuine. Some people just want to help. And
that's the thing that I see her and her friends get out going out, and I'm like, and she messages me now, like, if she's 19 next month, and she's like, she's in a nightclub and she'll like, I'm feeling a bit tipsy, can you come get me? Not feeling too good, and I'm like, okay, I'm on, like, I'll come get you. Like, so she knows her limit. She knows, like, she doesn't like getting really drunk, but she's 18, 19, finding her feet, going out with her friends and finding, becoming a young woman, and she's got to let her go a wee bit, but if she needs me, I'm like, okay, I'm on my way.
That's great that she's got that in you, and she knows that if she needs
she knows
that she can call because she's not comfortable. That's great. That's really
a lovely
good.
Relationship, like, absolutely lovely.
Yeah, it's good. We're close, so.
Yeah. If you don't mind me asking, so has this whole thing, because obviously with Take Back the Beat, Nat and myself are survivors, and this is obviously where it stemmed from. It's where a lot of my music's come from. So you being on the Doors, is this where it's kind of given you the inspiration to do this, or have you actually, have you seen firsthand any?
I saw
family and things like that.
Not so much family. No, but like I saw, I had an ex-partner who was abused with her previous partners. Yeah. So I've seen the damage it does. I've seen that. I've seen guys trying to, take girls at a club who clearly can't walk, and like, you didn't come in with her, you're not leaving her. She doesn't know what she's doing, and like, you're not leaving them. I've stopped guys taking out women from the club.
Wow.
A few times. Like, you I don't remember you coming in hers. You can't. Where's your friend? Like,
good. Thank you for that.
Find your friend.
Amazing.
Yeah, like, I've, like, don't get me wrong. Like, sometimes it's like, I was a girl one time at a nightclub, really drunk, sleeping, like, fell over, lying outside the nightclub. Friends have left her, and you're like, she's on her own, or with one friend, and she can't, taxis won't take her home because she's really badly drunk. So you pick up the phone and you phone her mum. So I'm phoning her mum, like, listen, you need to come get her because she's not moving. And your mum's like, oh my God, like, and they panic. So, and then the girl, like, don't phone my mum, give me grief.
But you're just trying to help. Yeah.
And then you put on the phone at the mum, and then she's like, oh mum. You're like, all right, okay. So you need to wait for the mum to take you about an hour to come and get her. So you're like, 4 in the morning, 5 in the morning, like, you can't leave.
No.
You can't do that. You can't leave.
But a lot of people would, so that's why I'm saying thank you. Because
you can't.
Some people would. They don't care.
That is amazing.
I think you've got to, I think women especially have got a duty of care to, to monitor stuff and make sure girls are getting home. Like if I saw a girl and she was really drunk in a nightclub and she was getting asked to leave, I'd throw her friends out with her. Like, you need to go as well. You can't leave her. You need to go.
Can't leave her, yeah.
Good.
And so I'm sorry, you're all going. You know, leave.
Yeah, no, but good for you.
She can't. She's too drunk. She can't stay in the club. But you need to go with her because she can't leave herself.
Yeah, but also you need to find new friends. If that's you, if anyone's listening, you need to find new friends.
Don't get in that state. But then and then you have to do those things. I hope someday if my daughter's like that. She's never been like that, but I hope if she ever gets drunk, if she gets friends all around her, and
if it sounds like she's anything like you saying, then I definitely know that she would. She'd probably ring you and come pick us up.
Because it's like, I think especially when you are like 17, 18 and you start drinking for the first time and going out, like you are, like you said, you're testing your limits and you're testing like what you enjoy. Like I've been in so many situations that I look back now and I'm like, oh my God, like you idiot. Like that was not safe. That was not okay. But you don't think about it. Like, especially when you're a lot younger and if you haven't had experiences or whatever, or
you get that fearlessness.
And you think, oh, I'll have another drink, I'll have another shot. Oh, this gorgeous guy's buying me a drink. Of course I'm going to sit with him, and oh, my friends have gone, I'll be fine. Like, I've walked home on nights out before at like 4 o'clock in the morning, off my face drunk, like, and go, I don't know how I got home. I don't know how I'm here. And now I look back and I'm like, oh my God, like you're so lucky. Like, don't do that. But it's, you don't know at kind of a younger age, especially like, it's exciting and it's fun and you don't see the risks. And unfortunately in the world, there has been some things that have been happening, like obviously Sarah Everard and like a few other people. And it's really terrifying that this can happen. So it is having those chats with people and being like, hey, like you're going to go out and get drunk. You're going to throw up in your hair. That's a rite of passage. Like, but just have your wits about you, have good friends, know who you're doing, like know what you're doing, not who you're doing, know what you're doing. And just kind of be aware. Well, that too, but kind of be aware and just have, sometimes it's really hard in the moment to not keep these things going.
It's like even wee things like things like if a woman, not so much even the drinking side of things, like just small things like I tell Aaliyah, like if your battery's going to cut out in your phone, change your voice, your answer machine message.
Oh wow!
Say, so you can say. So this is like a tip that I would say. Would be like, my battery's cutting out. I'm walking, north on this street at 4:15 a.m. or so people have an idea where you are going when your battery cut out. Because if your battery cuts out, nobody can find you. But if they can phone your voicemail and you say, hi, it's me, my battery's about to cut out. She's in Glasgow. I'm walking down Buchanan Street. It's 3:15 a.m. I'm walking towards, Central Station, the train station, and my battery's going to cut out. So then people go, okay, she was here at that time.
Wow, I've never thought of that. That's such a good idea.
Yeah, I've never thought of that at all.
Yeah, it's a great idea. It's a great, like, more people should do it. Like,
absolutely.
If your phone cuts out, like, people doesn't know where you are, but you can change that voice because your voicemail still answers even when your phone's turned off.
That is so true.
Yeah, I never thought that.
If your phone's out of battery, your voicemail still register whatever your message greeting was.
That's
your voicemail greeting.
There you go, guys.
On a night out.
Yeah. There you go. That's a lovely little tip.
Say that one for free.
Yeah, I mean,
I love that.
I mean, the beauty of like iPhones with like Find My Friend and Find My Phone and stuff like that now. Like, I do it a lot. Like, if I'm on a night out, if I'm walking home, or even like I've done some video shoots where, like, for music, or if when I used to dance and stuff, I would always send a location to someone who I knew was at home, and be like, hey, like, I remember doing this photo shoot like a few years back, and like my friend Brendan lived like, I knew half an hour roughly from where I was, and I just sent him a phoned him, was like, what are you doing today? And he was like, work at home. It's like, cool, I'm sending you my location. If you don't hear from me from this point of time, can you just drive there?
Yeah.
And he literally was like, yeah, of course, no problem. Like no questions, just was like, yeah, sure, fine, cool.
I've definitely done that before.
Yeah, that's
Yeah.
Been like, I'm going on a date.
Oh,
going on a date. Here's my location.
Well.
Yeah,
We've got to step up as well, you know.
Absolutely.
And there's another app that's like 3 words. You've seen that? There's 3 words.
Yes.
It gives like a grid map. Every grid map in the world like can go down to 3 words, and it's like, so it tells you within a meter or something, a meter square.
Someone's told me about this, and I was like, I don't know how this works.
What 3 words? It's called. And
what 3 words?
so you can click on any grid map, and it will give you 3 words like where am I? Here.
That's so interesting.
Slate, clown, and pose. So it tells you which. I don't know if you can see that.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
So it'll tell you 3 words. So it tells you like within, you know, you can find your grid map within like a meter square. Like it's like every square meter, but it's like worldwide, global. So everything has a 3 words.
You're giving some incredible tips right now.
I know. I'm like,
that I hadn't even thought of. Yeah.
It's called what 3 words, and it can. I think it's like maybe square foot or square meters. I don't know what it is, but it's like to the exact measurement. Like so
that's amazing.
You can find you. So you can send what 3 words, and you can download that app and you can send your location to somebody that's literally. Like if you're in a big block of flats or something, like you know, it's a grid map or something that can tell you where you are.
So it could actually say which room, what house of.
I don't know if it will do levels, but it can tell you which block of flat you've been in.
Yeah, wow,
that's such a good idea.
It, you know,
I take it your daughter's got all this on her phone and knows all this stuff.
She's got the Find My Phone, which my mum has and stuff. Or their friends, I've got them as well. So sometimes they might share stuff with me, which is fine, you know.
I do it all the time, like when my sister goes on dates, because my sister loves like a Tinder or Hinge or Bumble or like, I don't know these things, that world. And whenever she's like, a few years ago when she used to go on these dates quite a lot, I was like, can you just send me locations, just so I know, like, just so even if everything's fine from my point of view. And it's like you have to, and unfortunately, like that's kind of the world we're living in, and we can be oblivious to it and we can hope it changes, or we can protect ourselves. Like
you have to protect yourself, I think. Like these wee apps and things like this are so important as well. Locations and telling people where you go, and the voicemail one's a good one as well, you know, like if your battery's about to cut out. So these wee things are all important, and and so like even if you're driving, how you should park the car, like don't park it, drive it in, reverse it in and things, and don't park at the other end of the car park, leave it somewhere bright, closer to the door as you can, like you know, these wee things. And
but it's great that you know this. It's nice to speak, you know, to a male who gets it, because we've talked to people before and they're like, oh my God, I didn't even think of that. Or, you know, little things like if you're walking on a night, which is not very often with me anymore, but when I used to, when I was younger, I'd make sure that I walked down the middle of the road until a car came, because I was like, I ain't walking next to the bushes or next to the woods or next to wherever. But then, you know, you tell a guy that and they're like, what? Like it's the thing, wearing a ponytail, things like that. And you're like, well, yeah, because they can grab you. Like it's very easy to grab. It's nice to speak to somebody who has thought all this through, but unfortunately it's because you've probably seen a lot of it doing what you did. But
I've seen some of it. I don't think I've seen a lot of it. I think just talking to women and stuff, and you know what goes on and stuff, you know. And
it is kind of one thing we've done, like we've doing this podcast, like we thought we were quite a minority in our friendship group of being survivors, and then we opened up about the podcast, and all of a sudden we were like, oh no, everyone has these experiences, and you're like, oh my
everyone
God,
has a story. Everyone has a story. Like I think and that's I think there was a billboard in Glasgow. I don't know, because it was one in three girls in school uniform have been like groped, or like, I'm like what.
Mm.
And like schools are really, like, kids at school were
it's
crazy
so
to see. And
it's terrifying. It's absolutely. I actually had. I don't think I've told you this, Farah. I was on holiday with my parents like quite recently, and me and my mum were walking down the street, and I could hear like footsteps approaching, and I'm quite wary, and I suffer with anxiety and PTSD, so I'm very much like and I literally just heard this guy going, "Hello, it's just me. I'm running behind you. I'm just going to overtake you. I'm overtaking you," and I was like, "Thank you," and he was like, "No, all good.
Wow,
I'm going over here," and I was like, "Yeah," because
important.
he was just like, "I'm just chatting. I'm fine. I'm just going to overtake you now. Really sorry." And I was like, "Thank you so much," because that put me at ease. And like
wow,
randomly,
yeah, that's really kind.
And I remember on Twitter it was going like viral. A lot of like people were going like, "How do we make anyone feel safe?" And there was a few backlashes of people being like, "I'm never going to attack a woman. I don't have to, or a man. I don't have to say I'm there. I don't have to walk on the other side of the road." And it's like, you don't have to. But you could be a good human and just make another person feel a little bit better.
You don't have to, but it's just do it.
Just do it.
It takes nothing. It took him nothing to be like, "Hey, I'm just going around you."
Like, I'll cross the road. Like, you know,
you do these things.
Like, hairy face. I've got a scar over my eye. Like, I'm always playing a baddie. Always playing a baddie. Apart from Outlander, I'm not a baddie in Outlander. Like, you know, it's like I'll cross the road, or I'll speak to somebody. Listen, I'm just going here. Are you okay? You know.
Oh, bless you. That's so
being
lovely.
mindful, isn't it?
I think there's a lot of things like like some of the kids that come in here, like especially the young boys, when they start getting like 13, 14, like I'll talk to them and say, you know, there's not enough. I think there's, like, everybody talks about protecting women, and women have to, you know, learn how to protect themselves. They learn how to, you know, how to do all these things, like put these apps on their phone and tell their friends where they're going. But I think there's a lot more that needs to be done to educating men.
Yes.
Especially young boys. Like, especially young boys now. Like, there's so much, it's just so easy access to, like, you know, porn sites on your phone. It's like all these boys are looking at it and thinking this is, and the majority of the time it's really aggressive, hardcore porn.
Mm-hmm.
And there's nobody educating them and saying that's not how you conduct yourself. And there's nobody, a lot of, if you look at like football coaches or boxing coaches or any of these places, nobody's taking these young boys aside and saying that's not how you behave. This, you have to learn what boundaries are and what appropriate behaviour is and what appropriate language is, and nobody's teaching young boys, like, as much as we can protect, and I protect, you know, I teach my daughter and stuff, but there's got to be more education with young men. And this is, you know, the stuff you see online is not real. You know, if a woman says no, she means no. Like there's limits, there's boundaries, there's got to be there's got to be education. And I talk to some of the boys in here and I say to them, and I say to their parents, like, if you don't want me to talk to them like that, then don't bring them.
Good for you.
Nice. Yeah.
Don't bring them, because they have to be accountable, and you have to, as a coach, as like an influencer, or like you know, a sports, like a sports figure, or a coach or anything. We have to tell them now what is appropriate behaviour, what is appropriate language, or what you can say to women, what you can ask a woman, what are boundaries, what are limits. There's not enough. There's not enough.
There isn't. We've talked about that before on here, haven't we? Not about you know, even down to assault or domestic abuse. I didn't know what it was when I was in school. Nobody talks about, like, it should be talked about more in school, and you know, the red flags and things like that, and boundaries, and like you said, language and respect, and being mindful of others needs to be brought to schools, because I had no fucking clue what it was when I was in school. If you said that to me, I'd be like, what's that? Like, not a clue.
We got one of the women from Women's Aid, she works and she goes into schools and talks about those things, and I think that's
amazing.
Great. But I think there's more has to be done, especially with young men. I think young men, as much as we can teach women how to protect themselves all day, but if the young men are not being educated, then they're just going to keep. And I think it's getting, sometimes it can get worse. Maybe with the amount of, I think the easy access to porn on phones and kids. Like every kid's got an iPhone. Every kid's got an iPhone. They've all got it, and and they never or some sort of Android phone, and it's so easy to just go on these sites. Like they're not regulated as much as they say they're trying to. They're not. And and I think the boys are seeing this and girls are seeing this, and it's just too much. It's not. You're not prepared for it. They're not old enough to see it. They're not old enough to know to know the limits and stuff. And
that's such a really insightful thing, because it's like a conversation I had with my partner was like, when I was at school, I was taught like, don't have your headphones in, don't wear a ponytail, wherever. And he was so baffled that I was taught this, and he was like, "What lesson? Why did they tell you that?" And I was like, "It's just a thing." And he was like, "I was never taught like, don't rape women." And I was like, yeah, like that's not, although obviously we shouldn't need to be taught that, but at the same time it's conversations that need to be addressed as kids.
It's not even so much as like don't rape, as much as like respect, teach them respect, like consent, what no means, like, what a boundary is, what consent is. Consent, like what's consent? Talk to them.
And like you said, the little things of like, well, if I buy you a drink, then I expect this and things like that. That's not how the world works. And it's it needs to be taught out of them more than anything.
Yeah, but it's even like, because now unsolicited naked photos are actually an offence now. And again, I was talking to a few of my male friends about this, and they were like, "Who is sending dick pics now?" And I was like, I genuinely, if I showed you my Instagram, my DMs are open. I used to get like naked photos once a week from guys or demands for naked photos. And I'd be like, "Can you please go away, stop it." And it's really upsetting and offensive, but you get used to it, and that's horrible. So now that it's an offense, but it's just so funny that as a woman, we're like, "Oh yeah, I get sent dick pics all the time."
And especially they think it's okay because, say, if you're on a dating app, I mean, I got rid of them a long time ago, but when I was first on them, it was like, if I said, "Oh, hi, how are you?" and you'd start a conversation, just a conversation, then they'd send you a dick pic, and you're like, hang on a minute, how have we gone from like, "How's your day?" to "Here's my penis"? Like, that's not okay. But again, because they think, well, it's a dating app and that's what they're there for, and I'm like, no.
That's a date. Like find someone,
a date.
Not
but clearly they thought that was an okay place to do it, because they were like, everyone does it. I'm like, well, I don't. So
no, thank you.
No, thank you.
But it's like you said, it's learning, it's knowledge, and people learning that that's not okay.
You have to. I think coaches, football coaches, teachers, PE teachers have got to take young men aside and teach them what consent is. It's got to happen. Like everybody's schools changing now. Like I think, my personal opinion, the education system's crazy anyway. Like, everything you need to know is on your phone. So like school was all about retaining knowledge and trying to learn, like keeping all that in, but it's all online. You don't have to retain it. I think you should be teaching people how to be kind to each other,
life skills,
like how
taxes,
relationships, businesses, and these things. That's as well as obviously basic reading, writing, and all the stuff. Other school stuff, and you want to be a doctor, physics, chemistry, all that. But I think there's got to be more.
We're missing a big chunk. I agree. I really
social aspects, and how to interact with people. And we're a species that needs interaction. We need contact. We need affection. We need company. Like we all do. We all need someone to we need a hug every now and again.
Yeah, so, I mean, lockdown definitely taught us that is very true.
So teach people how to do that in a proper way. Like teach them how to approach a woman in a nice way. Or, speak to someone, or what consent is. If a woman says no, then don't say, "Oh, you must be a lesbian," or "You must be." Or, no, it's just doesn't interest her. She's seen someone.
When they go, "Well, you're ugly anyway," and I'm like, "Oh, cool, thanks."
I know. Just to get like, I know. It's the same thing when you knock someone back from the door. You'd be like, "I didn't want to come in there anyway." Like,
you did.
For 20 minutes. But
it's so far. I think me and Farah had this conversation like a while ago, because I was at a Green Park in London with my friend Katie, and a guy started catcalling us, and we were like, "Hey, we're not interested. We're just trying to have a girly catch up," and he literally kicked off at us. And so we tried everything. We tried, "Hi, sorry, not interested." And then we went to the line I hate is, "I'm really sorry, I've got a boyfriend." Because I hate going, sorry, I'm owned by someone else.
Mhm.
Like, that's the only reason I'm not interested. No, I don't want to talk to you. Please leave me alone.
Yeah.
And in the end,
Yeah.
he was like calling us all words under the sun. And we were like, please, I feel very intimidated. Please leave me alone. And he ended up doing that. But it really riled me because I was like, the only way you left me alone was when I resorted to going, I've got a boyfriend and he's going to be here soon.
Yeah.
And it's like, no, please just take no. Please go, okay, no worries, thank you. Like, bye. Like,
yeah, I think more, especially, like, there's always going to be those type of men that will just won't take that no for an answer, or there's going to be the push it to the extent, or or just, misogynistic assholes. You know what I mean? There's always going to be a few of them about. You know what I mean? So,
unfortunately, yes.
Unfortunately, that's the world we live in.
Yeah.
But if you can change a couple of them as they're coming up, younger boys, then there might not be as many. That's you know what I mean? That might not be as many. And but like, like, I'm not perfect. Like, when I was younger, like, my mum and gran raised me quite a bit, and my mum had an influence. My mum was always like, no, and get up and give a lady a seat in the bus and all these things. And, but you I've talked to girls in nightclubs, and then I'm going to leave because this is not happening. Like, just take the hint. Like, take the hint.
Take the hint. Yeah.
Good for you.
But you are clearly a very good egg, and I want to thank you for everything that you're doing. So
we try.
I want to come do your classes. Can you do a franchise and like bring it down to London, please?
That would be lovely.
And to Yorkshire.
And Yorkshire.
And Yorkshire. I have to make this one work first. So.
Well, it sounds like it is, so I wouldn't even worry about that.
Well, I think we're going to, like, the charity. I would like to get the charity to grow and do something further with that. Maybe.
Yeah, I mean,
do other cities with the charity, and
that would be amazing.
That would be an ideal situation. But charities are tough to set up. And,
we know the feeling.
But take back the beater behind you 100%.
Yeah,
so, yeah,
absolutely.
Thank you.
Thank you so much. That's really nice of you.
And if you like, if we can ever do anything for you or whatever, or like, I mean, I'm so annoyed that I know about you now. Like, I was in Glasgow for the whole of Christmas last year. And like, when Joanne told me, I was like, oh my God, I would so have gone to these classes. Like,
for the gloves on.
I know, I'm so up for that.
We'll have to take a trip now, and we'll have to come.
I know, right?
Classes, definitely.
We'll come up.
It would be lovely. It would be lovely.
That would be great. I'd love that. Well, Paul, thank you so much. And then, like, good luck with everything.
Yeah, thank you.
Thank you.
How do people find? Thank you. How do people find your gym and everything?
We're on Instagram, and the charity is called In Your Corner.
Amazing.
Great name, by the way.
Love that.
Great
name.
Well, I think everybody has to, like, I don't know if you can see that.
Oh, that looks so cool.
Nice.
In your corner. I love the little gate. That's really cute.
Yeah,
it's not a gate, it's a boxing ring.
The boxing ring.
The corner of the boxing ring. Like,
Nat and myself got to perform end of last year in a boxing ring. We sang out. We did a big charity event for my EP, and we performed it in a boxing ring, which was pretty cool.
Really
so,
cool. Because it was all for like
it was all
stopping violence against women, or else we're like, how perfect that we're doing it in a boxing ring, where it's kind of like taking our own stage, and we were like, this is I'd love to do this all the time. So yeah,
it's good. But In Your Corner is kind of like, I don't care who you are or what you are or whatever you're doing. At some point in your life, you're going to need somebody in your corner. So that's kind of where it came from. And my dad said it to me a lot. Like, when I told him I was an actor, he's like, "Come get a real job." And then I kept doing it. And then he came to see me in a play, and he went like, "Okay, go and do your thing. And if you need me, I'll always be in your corner."
I love God,
that.
Yeah, that's too emotional for me
I'm
today.
always, and I said this thing to Mad, but Aaliyah.
Yeah.
Okay, sorry about that. Father's Day yesterday.
We cry a lot on here, by the way.
Well, we're always emotional on here. But amazing, Paul. Thank you. You're an absolute dream.
Huge crier.
Yay!
Oh, good.
All the
like
tears.
that. We love that.
We haven't cried in like a few episodes, which is quite good for us. We usually get a bit emotional, so this is great.
That's good.
But thank you
so much.
Thank you so much
for having me on. Thank you so much, and you're amazing for what you're doing and bringing more attention to it. So keep. If I can help you, then give me a shout.
Thank you
absolutely
so much.
Feelings mutual, and good luck with everything.
Yeah,
thank
you. See you soon. Bye, darling.
Bye, honey.
Take care. Bye. Bye.
Well, that was the amazing Paul Donnelly.
Oh my God, incredible! Some of those tips as well.
I know. I'm downloading that app like straight away.
And the voicemail thing, I never, ever, ever thought of that.
I've never thought of that. I guess when you're a parent, you think about all the things just in case.
Yeah, and this is all, like you said, stemmed from seeing bits on the door that, you know, that we wouldn't see because usually
we're not in that life. Yeah.
No, but also like if you're out, you're a little bit, you know, intoxicated, and you're not.
Yeah, I'm not looking at that.
You're not looking for it. Whereas I suppose if you're there, you're literally on the door. It's the place you're going to see it all.
Yeah, I mean, I love the whole idea of everything he's doing, and like, I love the fact he's like, I don't need proof. Like, you do you. I'm like, you are a gem.
Yeah. Because that's the one thing we talk about a lot is that what if people don't believe us or...
Yeah.
So to be able to just go to a space where you won't get asked about it, you just can go and do you.
For free as well.
Gem.
Like,
He's a gem.
Literally, when he was talking, I was like, but what are you getting out of this? Like, because you know how like everyone, I think it's because, sorry, hay fever. It's because obviously we're in the performing arts world. Like, you are used to people like being like, yeah, I'll do this for you, but what are you going to do for me, kind of thing.
Yeah.
So it's, I think that's the same with the whole world, isn't it? Really, sometimes like the fact he's just like, yeah, I just do this, and it makes no money, and
that
he's
honestly
going to help one person.
Yeah.
Jesus, what a good egg.
And he's working with Women's Aid, so shout out
to Glasgow's Women's Aid.
Yes.
Little team.
But no, I love it. And if you're in Glasgow, go and check it out in your corner. Go to the classes.
Yes.
And obviously, if you're a fan of Outlander, there you go. You got a little insight to the other part of his life. I mean, it's amazing. He really is.
I really have to struggle this episode and Joanne's like not to do like my impressions of like Outlander.
Please don't embarrass me.
Yeah, it's just offensive. Like, do you know what I mean? I can't do a Scottish accent to save my life, and I definitely can't do any form of acting. So I'm just like, Outlander.
Oh my God. Stop right now.
I know, I'm stopping. We haven't done this for a few weeks, but win of the week. Da, 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 da.
Oh.
So this week's win of the week I'm going to take because you're actually involved in it.
Oh no.
I did a gig on Saturday night at this place called the Old Woolen. I need to actually find what it's called before I shout it out because that's awkward.
Give us the right name.
Yeah, the Old Woolen. It's up north.
Woo.
And they had this like little cafe thing, and obviously I'm a veggie, so I was like, hey, what vegetarian options do you do? And they were like, we can get you a salad. And I was like, oh, okay, sure. And then they were like, all our cakes are obviously vegetarian. And I was like, okay. And they're like, and this one's vegan. And I was like, okay, what is it? Biscoff, brownie, and shortbread in a slab.
Wait.
Yes.
Wait. So you're wait.
What did I do? Well, I was the nicest human ever because someone on the gig I was on I knew was seeing you the next day. So, Nat Gray Music, the loveliest human ever made, I split this massive slab in half.
She did, to be fair, but
I
didn't know it was vegan. That was vegan.
Vegan.
Stop it.
Literally split this like little Biscoff dream in half, gave half it to our mate and was like, make sure Farah gets this. And she was like, okay. And I just messaged Farah on Sunday night and I was like, did you get the present? And she was like, what heaven is this?
Yeah, because I literally, we had a bit of a mad one and I got up. It was an earlier gig. So I got up the next day, went to pick the girl up that Nat had given my present to. And when she got in my car, she was like, oh, I've got something for you. Nat said I must give you it. And I was like, what? Like, what is going on here? And then she just like unzipped the front of her bag and she was like, this is for you. And I looked and straight away I saw Biscoff. But because we had such a day, I was like, right, that's my treat after my gig. I'm going to come off stage. I'm going to get in the car and I'm going to eat that on the way home. It was heaven. Like,
it was so
good. It was one of the
so
nicest bakes I've ever had. And you're telling me right now for the first time that was vegan.
Vegan.
How was it so chocolatey?
I think it was dark chocolate.
Oh, my days. I'm dead.
Because, there was peanut butter in there, Biscoff, dark chocolate, and then like a layer of shortbread as well. I was just like, because that night I did a 4.5 hour drive home. So I didn't get home till 4:30 in the morning. It was hell on earth.
Gig life.
But that Biscoff cake, just win of the week. Shout out to Biscoff once again.
Yeah. I was going to be good. And then I honestly couldn't control myself. I had one bite of it, and I was like, I inhaled it. I think I sent you a voice note while my mouth was full. That's how excited I was about it.
Well, I said to her, I was like, you should be so privileged because I cut it in half before I took a bite. And I was like, I bit it, and I was like, do you know what? She wouldn't even know, like, if I just ate both, because I haven't told her I was doing this. So yeah, there you go. That's my win of the week.
And mine, now that I know as well. Yes.
I know, right? God, I'm lovely.
You are.
Anyway, thank you guys for tuning in once again. Please rate, subscribe, and
review.
Download.
I don't know. One of them.
I don't know. One of them. Just listen to
and
it. And
things
share
that Simon tells us to say, we forget. But
we forget.
Please like us. Sorry. Just like us.
Please be our friends. We love you all, and we'll see you again next week. Bye.
Love you. Bye. Bye.
Bye.
Take back the beat. Voice notes.
We do apologise if anyone was triggered by any of the dialogue we used today. We are still learning, and we are only just beginning to talk about our own experiences. We're aware that trigger warnings are completely different for everybody, so please bear with us. We love you all. We also want to hear your experiences. If there's anything you'd like to share with us, any stories, anything you are happy to discuss on this podcast, you can stay anonymous if you would like. Please send us an email at takebackthebeattour@gmail.com. That's takebackthebeattour@gmail.com. You can also find us on social media at takebackthebeat. Thanks, guys. We love you all.